translation maybe.
Yes.
I can start.
Yes, you can read the translation, please.
So, this bhajan, Saparshada Bhagavad Viraha Janita Vilapa. We can read the translation before singing it. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivasacharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatana? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopala Bhatta? And where is Krishna Das Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottama Das simply weeps.
Jayanilo prema dhana karuna prachur. Jayanilo prema
Nivedana Thakur ki jai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. So, welcome for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we'll continue our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 19, Verse 19. We are in the chapter where the Lord, Vamanadev, begs charity from Bali Maharaj. So we'll continue to deepen into this pastime and try to connect as much as possible with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance. So we'll read the verse together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Mam Vachobi Samaradhya.
Mangachobi
Lokanam Ekamishvaram.
Lokanam Ekva Ishvaram.
Padatrayam Vriniteyo.
Padatram
Buddhiman Dvipadashusham. Mam Vachobi Samaradhya. Lokanam Ekamishvaram.
Ekva Ishvaram.
Padatrayam Vriniteyo. Buddhiman Dvipadashusham. Mam Vachobi Samaradhya. Lokanam Ekamishvaram.
Lokanam Ekva Ishvaram.
Padatrayam Vriniteyo.
Padatram Viniteyo.
Buddhiman Dvipadashusham.
Buddhiman Dvipadashusham.
Vachubihi Samaradha
Mam Vachobi Samaradha.
Lokanam Ekam Ishvaram
Lokanam Eva Ishvaram.
Trayam Vritayo
Padatrayam Vriniteyo.
Buddhimam Dvipadashuram
Buddhiman
Dvipadashusham.
Mam Vachobi Samaradha.
Mam Vachobi Samaradhya.
Lokanam Ekam Ishvaram.
Lokanam Ekamishvaram.
Patrayam Vriniti Teo.
Padatrayam Vriniteyo.
Buddhiman Dvipadashusham.
Buddhiman Dvipadashusham.
Mam Vachobi Samaradhya.
Mam Vachobi Samaradhya.
Lokanam Ekamishwaram.
Lokanam Ekamishvaram.
Padatrayam Vriniteyo.
Padatrayam Vriniteyo.
Buddhiman Dvipadashusham.
Buddhiman Dvipadashusham. Mam, me, Vachobi,
Vachobi.
by sweet words,
By sweet words.
Samaradhya, after sufficiently pleasing,
Sufficiently pleasing.
Lokanam,
Lokanam.
of all the planets in this, of all the planets
All the planets
in this universe,
in this universe.
Ekam,
Ekam,
the one and only,
the one and only
Ishwaram,
Ishwaram.
master,
Master.
controller,
controller.
Padatrayam,
Padatrayam,
3 feet,
3 feet.
Vrinite
Vrinite.
is asking for,
Is asking for
Yaha, he who,
he who
a buddhiman,
Abhiman,
not very intelligent,
not very intelligent.
Dvipada Shusham,
Dvipada Shusham,
because I can give you
because I can give you
an entire island.
an entire island.
Translation: I am able to give you an entire island because I am the proprietor of the three divisions of the universe. You have come to take something from me and have pleased me by your sweet words. But you are asking only 3 paces of land. Therefore, you are not very intelligent. It is Bali Maharaj speaking to Lord Vamanadev. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. According to Vedic understanding, the entire universe is regarded as an ocean of space. In that ocean, there are innumerable planets, and each planet is called a dvipa or island. When approached by Lord Vamanadev, Bali Maharaj was actually in possession of all the dvipas or islands in space. Bali Maharaj was very pleased to see the features of Vamanadev and was ready to give him as much land as he could ask. But because Lord Vamanadev asked only 3 paces of land, Bali Maharaj considered him not very intelligent. Shri Chaitanya Manobhisham Sakitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Rita Shri Vishakam Shra He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Krishna Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gauramgi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nam Hare Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva Gatiranyata. So as you may know, these pastimes with Bali Maharaj and Lord Vamanadev is emphasizing about Atma Nivedana, one of the 9 aspects of devotional service. Formal devotional service, Atma Nivedana means surrender, full surrender, and Bali Maharaj later on will show what it means to surrender to the Lord. And because today is the disappearance of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and that Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a songbook called Sharanagati, which means surrender, I thought it could be relevant to dig a little more about the process of surrendering to the Lord. Before that, here we can consider about this verse. that Bali Maharaj is addressing the Lord and was surprised that the Lord is actually, just asking him 3 pieces of land, knowing that Bali Maharaj is the proprietor. He says, I am the proprietor of the 3 divisions of this universe, the lower, middle, and higher planetary systems. And compared to nowadays, when someone is powerful, he's usually powerful at least for one country, maybe, but hardly more than that, And just consider how Bali Maharaj was powerful to possess or to be proprietor of these 3 divisions of the universe, was governing them. But still, it was not interesting for the Lord. All our possessions, everything we may think we possess, first of all, it's not ours. This we have to remember. And second of all, even though we may be temporarily possessing them, ultimately, they are not interesting for the Lord. Not our possession, but our devotion. Our devotion is something reachable for the Lord. And this is the most pleasing for Him, if we can put our love, our devotion to the Lord, our spontaneous. All the process of Krishna consciousness is to help us awakening this spontaneous love for Krishna. And of course, it takes a long time. I mean, Prabhupada said that it can be very short. Within 1 second, you can fully surrender. But still, there are so many impediments in our lives that doesn't allow us to surrender, and we'll try to see why. And interesting also enough is that here Bali Maharaj, surprised about the Lord not being interested by any other possession that he may have, he's saying to the Lord, you are not very intelligent. So this is our demoniac tendency. It's illustrating this demoniac tendency of considering others, and here especially the Lord, not very intelligent. Because why this happens? Just because we have just the small picture, we take conclusion about immediate facts, which is under our eyes, under our understanding of things, but we don't have a broader picture, we don't have a long-term vision. And to be able to be situated and to take good decisions in our life, and especially regarding our spiritual life, we need to understand that there is a bigger picture, there is a bigger plan. And yeah, we may take a situation and make a conclusion of it. But ultimately, if we don't put in the center of our decision the Lord, we will surely make a mistake, and we will surely not take a beneficial decision. A beneficial decision means a decision which will help us to be more Krishna conscious. This is a beneficial decision. And for that, from the beginning of any action, any thought, any important decision, we should think of Krishna. Remember the holy name. Remember that ultimately the Lord is there, and that we are acting towards Him. Shri Tai Sachisuta Ki Jai, Shri Shraddha Parishishra Ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai. So how Bali Maharaj illustrates this surrender is that after the Lord took 2 pieces of land, he already covered the whole universe, and he got all the possessions of Bali Maharaj. And after that, Bali Maharaj will just surrender his whole self to the Lord by putting the Lord's feet, accepting the Lord's feet on his head. This is showing the humble and meek characters of Bali Maharaj, although being in the demoniac dynasty. And he was able also not to follow his spiritual master Shukracharya's interest or advice, because he understood that this would be against the will of the Lord. And because he made this very bold decision, but considering that spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, is supposed to lead us toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead service and nothing else, and because Shukracharya had other motives in his advice to Bali Maharaj, then he decided not to follow. He decided not to follow and to surrender everything, every possession. And this is a great example of Atma Nivedana. In the Ramayana context, we have also another character emphasizing this Atma Nivedana. Do you know who? We had recently Keshava Maharaj, who was giving a lecture for the opening of the Ayodhya temple, and he was making a parallel with this angas of devotional service and how they are emphasized by Ramayana characters. So Atma Nivedana is emphasized by Jayatu, this vulture bird. Jatayu. I said what? Jayatu. Jatayu, sorry. Jatayu. And Jatayu was actually after Sita was brought by Ravana, kidnapped by Ravana. Jatayu was, with all his courage, all his strength, which is limited because he was old, but he tried to prevent this kidnapping with all of his feeling of devotion for Ram, his beloved Lord Ram. And what happened actually is that Ravana just took out his wings, and he just fell on the floor and was, in agony on the floor. But still, because he had so much love and devotion for Lord Ram, he had the great benediction to have the darshan of Lord Ram before his departure, and this was the most pleasing and the most he felt the most cared by Lord Ram in this situation, because at the very end of his life he could have the darshan of Lord Ram, and he could still serve him by sharing the information, the crucial information. Oh yeah, this demon Ravan took Sita over that direction. He gave everything. This is also full surrender, to be able under any condition, and sometimes it's difficult because we may have some disease happening, we may have some very difficult event in our life, family life, we may lose something that was dear to us, either material possession, either family members, making some mistake, or having a situation in which we are very humbled by the Lord or his devotees. And still, a devotee in this condition is never thinking that the Lord is not liking him. He is always thinking that the Lord is just bestowing a special mercy that will help him to go even more, to surrender more. And this is actually the case. This is actually how the Lord protects us. So surrendering, there are two types of surrendering. There is an external surrendering, which is happening at the beginning, and there is internal surrendering, which is going deeper. So at the beginning of Krishna consciousness, external surrendering means three things: that we follow some personal practices like chanting, hearing, reading, and this is happening on an external level. So we are trying, and Srila Prabhupada, what he was doing at the beginning when he came to the West, chanting and prasadam. What else? Just chanting, giving prasadam, and everything is right. And then little bit philosophy. a little bit, you know. And afterward, when people became serious, okay, let's go deeper into philosophy. And when they started to ask, how can I serve you? Oh, here we are. Let's start to give more knowledge, to give more serious practice, to give a lifestyle. And this is actually the second external aspect of surrendering. We change our lifestyle, we change our habits, and this means to make a choice and to take out what is unfavorable, to follow some rules, regulations. This is part of this lifestyle that we are changing. But along with these two, so personal practice, lifestyle, we also, the third aspect of external surrender is that we develop a spiritual identity, meaning that we consider ourselves, a spiritual seeker or targeting self-realization, a devotee of the Lord, trying to practice. And what does it mean concretely, externally speaking? It means that we associate with devotees, you know. And this is how we can strengthen, make it more real, this spiritual identity, by associating with people who have this also practice, who have this goal to surrender themselves also to the Supreme Lord. So this is on the external aspects. Now, all of this is very important, and let's take lifestyle or spiritual identity. They should be considered as helping the personal practices, because with a lifestyle and with spiritual connections, then there is more faith coming, and because there is more faith, our spiritual practices, with more enthusiasm. But also it should be considered internal aspects. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of the reasons why acharyas, they write these books and they share it with everyone, is not because they are proud of themselves. I wrote some books and very nice prayers, everyone should read them. No, it's because they have some treasure in their heart. Krishna empowered them. He gave them some Shakti to do these wonderful prayers, and they know that it can benefit people, others, to go further in their surrendering. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Narottam Das Thakur, they are sharing their mood of surrender. They are sharing some spiritual emotions, and it's valid for our japa. Sachinandan Maharaj, in his book, The Living Name, at the very end, if I give a little glimpse of this book, there are three parts. The first part is to align the body. So you learn how to sit straight. You learn how to breathe, to connect before starting chanting and not falling asleep too much. And then second part is you align the mind. You align your thoughts. You try to focus just on the holy name. And the third part, the crucial part of aligning the heart to put the right emotions into your chanting. And for this part, this aspect, he advises to read some prayers. Not that we will read the Bhagavatam, okay, let's read one chapter. No. It's more like reading prayers, so getting connected with the mood of our acharyas. And of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has so many songs, Narottam Das Thakur also, and each of them give us specific emotion, mood, and progressively we can go deeper in that prayers, and so deeper in our chanting. Because otherwise, if we don't align the heart, it means, okay, I'm sitting properly, okay, I'm not falling asleep, but I manage somehow or other to focus doing one mantra, But if our heart is not into the chanting, it's like an empty cup, you know. It's like, okay, I'm doing externally, that's good, that's already good. But if we don't put our heart, then we'll not go very far in our chanting and in our devotional lives. We'll do things automatically and not Krishna conscious. That's the problem if we don't put the heart. So the second part, internal surrender, what does it mean? If you remember, do you remember, let's try together to remember about the 6 steps of surrendering that are shared in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book. We can find also a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila regarding these 6 aspects of surrendering. Do you remember which one they are? One of them maybe. So the first one is to accept which is favorable. The second one is to reject which is unfavorable. And this is actually on the mind level. So it's an internal aspect of surrendering. And on the mind level, it means accepting which is favorable, rejecting. This is the job of the mind in general, to accept or reject. But applied in this context of surrendering, it means we accept what is pleasing to Krishna. And sometimes it's by accepting something, sometimes it's by rejecting things. On the intellectual level, there are 2 other aspects of surrendering which are prominent. The one is to remember that Krishna is our protector, you know, and the only one who can really protect us. So, and the second aspect of on the intellectual platform is that the Lord is our master, and only master, not any demigod can protect us ultimately. Only Krishna can. So when we are intellectually, getting and convinced by this, and how do we get convinced? By indeed getting some shastric knowledge. When we manage to but to put a foundation based on Shastra, on these concepts, then it becomes really like tangible and strong in our intellect. And because it's strong in our intellect, it means that the concept is there. Is like you don't need to force it and to remember. No, it's already impregnated in you. And when it's a time of decision in your life, then because the concept is already there, then naturally you will be able to remember that. But at the beginning, it's a conscious effort to remember how the Lord is a protector, how the Lord is my only shelter. So this is on the intellect. And on the false ego, on false ego platform, there is self-surrender and humility. These are very important aspects based on false ego, because why it's connected with false ego? False ego, what does it mean? When we say, I am French, my name is this, my job is that, this is my wife, this is the temple where I live, this is my home, this and that. All of this is identification. We identify, we define ourselves by all of these be it items, family members and so on. And it is false because it is temporary. And here, self-surrender means that we understand that all our activities and desires, they are not independent. We are all dependent on the Supreme Lord. He is the one sanctioning our actions. He's the one who can transform our desires, by sending his wonderful devotees. That's why we're talking about spiritual identity as an external aspect. Why association of devotees is so crucial? Because in the association of devotees, you can change your desires, isn't it? If you already encountered Krishna consciousness for some time, maybe you observed in yourself some change in your desires. Maybe you are a little less interested by material gain, more by, okay, how can I serve better Krishna? How can I improve my spiritual life? How can I try to participate to the mission of Srila Prabhupada? And before encountering the devotees, did you have any thought like this? No, because no association with devotees. It's not possible to have this awaken in you. And regarding humility, it's to actually accept that you are depending on Krishna, and nothing without him is possible, and that he is the ultimate beneficiary. Bhaktaram Yaga Chapasyam.
On the day of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's apparition, he was giving a so nice definition of humility.
Oh.
The ability to recognize our own limitation.
The ability to recognize our own limitations. Nice. Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing this. And so to conclude on this topic of surrendering, we should consider that surrendering is a gradual process. How can we understand if we are rightly situated in terms of surrendering? We can sometimes, especially at the beginning, we may have the thought, okay, this is the ultimate goal, I should surrender fully to Krishna. So I'm surrendering everything. Let's start right now. And we actually try to surrender and choose some surrender which is not corresponding to our level. Okay, let me stop working. Let me renounce everything I have, my possessions, my money, my wealth, my family, and this and that. But this cannot bring us very far. Because then very soon we will lose the enthusiasm, we'll be very discouraged. And what will happen if it's not properly dovetailed to our capacities, we may just quit the movement. And this happens quite often. So if we intend to find a proper situation regarding our surrendering and how we should adjust this external aspect, already by adjusting this external aspect, so I repeat again, spiritual identity, lifestyle, and spiritual practices, if already we are good on this, it's a drastic change in your heart, in your life, let's say. And after that, to go further, and already to choose how to properly do these three external aspects, we need guidance. We need to show this humility by accepting guidance of someone, senior devotee, a spiritual master, who can really tell us, dovetail this level of surrender for us. And this is also part of it. It's not like some devotees need, some others don't. No, we all need. It is part of it. Humility is the entrance door of surrendering. Without humility, without accepting that we cannot manage ourselves, that we have some limitations, nothing can happen. This, if we think we know everything, sometime in the street we meet people, oh yeah, I know already Bhagavad Gita, no problem. This is already the end for him, because he will not open the door to any more knowledge, to any more realizations. And we all know that Bhagavad Gita is, without end. We can always go deeper and deeper. So someone who says, no, I already know everything. Okay, what can we do? So here we are, we leave some time for some questions or comments about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, or about this surrender. Please feel free to share anything. I just wanted to mention about Bhaktivinoda Thakur that he disappeared on 23rd June 1914 in Jagannath Puri. And all his life was dedicated to preaching work. His spiritual practices were very, very strong. He had intense sadhana, and he was a court judge, very sharp in making decisions, very determined, and sleeping very little, from 8 to 10 maybe, and from 10 he would stand up and write books, and at 4:30 he would start japa till 7, and after that was writing letters, then reading books, then going to work. In between he would take a breakfast with fruits, chapatis, continue his day like this. And some, let's say, of his colleagues, I don't know if we could call it colleagues, yeah, thank you, was telling that whenever he had a moment and we could discuss, like within a few seconds he would come directly to Krishna topics. He was imbued by Krishna Katha, and every opportunity was for preaching. So yeah, that's it. From 4:30 to 7 a.m. he was chanting japa. 7 to 7:30 he was corresponding, then studying shastras for 2 hours, then take a bath, prasadam, and court duties. And I forgot, sorry. From 5 to 7 he was translating shastras. And rest only 2 hours and write books from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Can we imagine this? Not really. But we can also remember how Srila Prabhupada was also translating books, at evening time, after little rest. Definitely they are empowered. They are not common human beings, conditioned souls. And what they are doing is really wonderful. But the root cause of their full dedication is their desire to serve the Lord. And if we have this desire, and we really want to please the Lord, then the Lord will provide the necessary and intelligence especially. Please, sorry for taking more time. Any
Two things I would like to share. One thing that you shared just before talking about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one that if we meet a person on the street who already have a Bhagavad Gita,
yes,
in India generally we do that. We ask him, okay, that's good that you have a Bhagavad Gita. You can take one more for your friend.
yes,
A book is a gift you can a person can open again and again.
yes.
And one more thing about Bhaktivinoda Thakur that I remember is that he was the one who started organized preaching. Actually, whatever ISKCON we are seeing, whatever organization structure that we are seeing, all the terminologies, actually it was all coming because of him. It all came because of him. He found out the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He started Namhatta preaching. He started using these terms as congregation and everything. So single-handedly, with this other Acharya did not face that much resistance from the public. But at his time there was nothing. No copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita was available. He found it out. So all glories to him that
Yeah.
he was the reason why, after which the organized preaching started. Before that, Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji, they are not preaching. They are just means they are in Babaji ways. So he started the main preaching thing.
And wasn't it him who first wrote some kind of letter to the West?
He
In
sent a
English.
book,
Huh?
Lord Chaitanya, the time and percept of Lord Chaitanya, to
Yeah.
McGill University, Canada,
Uh,
in 1896.
So he was giving the first
First, yes.
the first drop, and then look how then just blossomed.
In fact, what I felt while we were saying that Vinod Thakur, he slept only 2 hours, and the rest of the whole night he was sitting translating. This was his daily routine work, what you said. But this in our life, only during the exam time, maybe like that.
Yeah.
But nowadays, even if we say that, how many, doctor asks how many hours to sleep, if I say less than 5 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, they say, it's not enough. But they have been in that mood of Krishna conscience and that much, they were, of course, they forget even about the health, I think, Krishna gives them. We say that less sleep, so it is affecting health, or that, what is that? We're still in the temporary world. It's really amazing to know that how they were dedicated to the service of Krishna.
Yeah. And also regarding the sleep for Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita purport explain what it means to, because there is a verse saying that we should not eat too much, too little, sleep too less, or too much, And Prabhupada explained that sleeping for us means between 6 and 8 hours, So we are trying to follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions
On
to
our
keep
level.
a good balance on our level. Yeah. Prabhu, please.
About this topic about sleeping, when it's a story we tell us in Peru, Somaka Maharaj was the right hand of Bhagavan in Italy. So the first time Prabhupada arrived in Italy, Somaka Maharaj, Somaka Prabhu in his time, he was the temple president. So they arranged a nice room for Prabhupada, bed, a small table, and behind the table there was a cushion, and so everything was ready. So Prabhupada arrived all the day, first meeting with the newspapermen, everything, it's so busy. And Prabhupada at the end he was saying, now we go to work, translating the book.
Wow.
And Prabhupada, in the morning early, Mongolati, and the devotee after Mongolati going to make a work, Prabhupada to work, and Mataji go to clean the room proper. They look, Prabhupada don't have touched the bed. So they tell to the temple president, Prabhupada don't have touched the bed. So he was not so familiarity with Prabhupada. Are you okay? Yes, we good. And you sleep? Yeah, good. Krishna makes so many arrangements. The second day, the same. Prabhupada don't attach the bed. So what happened? So Samata Prabhu stayed, passed away outside of the room of Prabhupada, and he was hearing Prabhupada with the dictaphone, translating. The time was passing 11, 12, 12:30, 1. And Samata Prabhu was standing around outside. Finally, he fell asleep. Suddenly, he wake up. There was no noise. Prabhupada stopped. So he looked by the hole of the lock. He saw Prabhupada behind the door, taking the book, putting head, everything nice on the table. He puts his shadow on top of him. He sleep on a cushion. And 2 hours after, he was standing up, taking a shower, starting a new day. This is Prabhupada, our savior.
Jai. Yes, thank you very much. so let's pray to our Chariot, and especially Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that he may empower all of you, all of us. I will also be inside because otherwise I will not go very far. That he may empower all of us to please the Lord by founding these Krishna consciousness movements far and wide, and to fulfill this promise that in every town and village there will be devotees chanting Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, His Appearance Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam Ki